Oh, there you are. Yeah.
Oh, my.
You got, see, listen, you had to get on the iPhone, right?
I guess so. I guess
It
that's.
must be your settings. I'm thinking it's your settings.
You think so?
Because surely we should be able to go iPhone to Samsung, as you say.
It's Samsung.
Yeah.
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 Mm,
Guys, do you
yeah.
see him and hear him? Everybody saying yay.
Okay.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
All right. All right. Let's get to cooking.
All right, make sure you speak up because your voice is kind of low though, but we good.
Okay. All
I
right.
got it turned up all the way. Say something. Oh no, you frozen. Is he frozen on your end? His shirt, yeah. He's frozen. Is he moving for you guys? I don't hear him. I don't. You lost him again. Me too. Yeah, we gonna keep trying, Betty. We're gonna keep trying. He froze. He'll unfreeze. He'll unfreeze. Let's do this, Ivan. That's right. Let's do this. So even if he has to go out and come back in, oh, there you are. You were frozen.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I hit the wrong button trying to turn up the volume.
Oh,
See
listen.
on.
Don't worry about the volume. Don't be hitting no buttons. Everybody's going. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it.
Yes.
DaPope rocks the house. That's right. Make sure you guys subscribe. Debbie has said she subscribed. Subscribe to his channel. He's not frozen anymore, right? Yes. Okay.
Much.
You can hear us. You can see us. This is wonderful. All right. So how are you?
I am blessed. I am good. I'm happy to be on your show. Thank you for having me. Shout out to you and 30,000.
Oh, come on now. Yeah,
30.
yeah, I'm shout out to you. I'm so glad you're here. And yes, somebody just asked if I plan on going live Thursday for the game. I do. And they're talking about your shirt. You can see though, you can see it, right? What's up, King's K girl? Foxy shirt, Pope.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Got to
Yes.
give flowers. Got to give our flowers out. Just do it by Nike. Yeah.
Yeah. So make sure you subscribe to his channel. And okay. So DePope, I wanted to talk to you about well, it was one main thing I wanted to talk to you about. And then with the Whitlock thing that I just did a video, I want to talk to you about that. I explained, and let's start with Whitlock, okay? Because I was
Go
watching a playback of your
start
yeah,
with Whitlock.
I
Go
was
ahead.
watching a playback of your live, and then I heard you mention actually both these things. The first part I heard you mention was the second topic, and then I was like, "Oh my goodness, I got to have him on because we were talking about this in the live." And then you mentioned Jason Whitlock, and I shut you off because I was just about to do a recording of a video, and I don't like it to influence me, so I generally don't listen until after I do my stuff. So
Mhm.
you guys are in the chat, you're talking about swoops, you're talking about Whitlock, you're talking about all that. Jason Whitlock, DePope. I know you like Jason Whitlock, don't you? You follow him.
Yeah, I have. See, it's funny because I didn't like Jason Whitlock when he was on ESPN and those type of things. He was a phony and a fraud to me then. And
Mhm.
then seeing him on YouTube and the way it seemed like he turned over a new leaf. He saved with Christ. He a Christian now. He talks like that. He doesn't. Uh, he seems like he calls out black people or people for doing crazy stuff when they do it. I like that because I'm that type that'll call it out too. You're
Yeah.
that type that'll call it no matter what the color of your skin is. Wrong is wrong. And so I started liking Jason. I'm like, you know what? I like this Jason Whitlock.
Mhm.
But so yeah, I was following and keeping up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, somebody's saying that Well, for those who don't know, so Jason Whitlock has been a new fan of Caitlin Clark. Says he's watched all of her games, but he went off the rails. It seems to me in this whole spiel that he is tired of Caitlin Clark. He's tired of the whining. She's complaining all the time. He can't take it anymore. And as you
Mm.
pointed out to me, DePope, it's not the first time that he's criticized. And somebody else pointed that. as well. Thank you. Yo, you got people in the chat trying to send me to that game. You guys are amazing. But so no, it's not the first time he's criticized Caitlyn. A lot of us have said stop talking to the refs. But he went a little bit further. And since I didn't catch what you talked about on your show, what is your take? I couldn't, I had to go off on him because I thought you're supposed to be a fan of CC, and now you just totally, not just because she's complaining, but you totally dissed her whole game and everything. So what were your thoughts?
Yeah, he been making me sick with his commentary lately, as of recent, with Caitlin Clark. I've been sitting back, right, puzzled by it, because he was going so hard for Caitlin Clark.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, and so I was enjoying that. And then he did a video or did a show to where he called out her whining too much to the refs, but he didn't disrespect her, or he didn't muddy it up.
Yeah.
Right? He just called, like, at first. But ever since, what I found interesting in watching your take on Jason Whitlock was uh the real reason behind his latest rant on her, and him doing the she's entitled, and I kind of let that go over my head like a carry on, because I'm giving Jason the benefit of the doubt, since I felt like he turned over a new leaf, and I know he called out people all the time, but I
Yeah.
didn't really, let it sink in that, yeah, he calling her entitled. He got the crying face, calling her crying Caitlyn. I'm like, yeah, you went way too far into, for somebody who just said that she's your favorite athlete to watch. I thought he was a fraud. I think you called it out right. He's a fraud. He's a fake fan. He was. I think you hit it. Yeah, I think you hit it on the nail.
Hmm.
Once
So
he found out,
so
yeah,
what's up? So do you think? See, what I said was that I feel like a lot of people. Listen, I did a video way back that said, "What if Caitlin Clark were black?" I did this whole thing. This was before the WNBA season started, because there was a lot of haterade thrown at her. And I said, if Caitlin Clark were black, there are people who wouldn't be, they would love her. There are some people who would
right,
love her if she were black. And as you have pointed out other times too, you always say a lot of this stuff comes down to good and evil, comes down into, values that people have versus values that people don't have. And that plays a factor as well. But I also pointed out in that video that there are certain people, and many of them are conservative. And hey, I'm a conservative, but many of them have spent day after day after day being very disrespectful of women's sports, or just, I mean, just, I think I think it's over the top, some of them. Okay. But then Caitlin Clark came in, and when the Angel Reese thing happened too, and then we say, okay, so she doesn't fit the stereotypical WNBA player. She's straight,
right,
she's white, she's from Iowa, and I believe they assumed she was on the right side of the political aisle, that she was a conservative. And then when she hit that like button, or whoever hit it for her, whatever, like you pointed out on your show, I heard you, nobody probably hit that button without being in alignment with her, right? The button was hit. And then I think stuff just hit the fan. Thank you so much for that donation. I appreciate that. I think things hit the fan. Do you think that is the real deal? And like, what's up with that?
yes, because a lot of, see why her fan base is well over the top,
Mm-hmm.
right? It is very deserving, but it goes even further, because how many people really basketball fans out of the Caitlin Clark scenario, right? And how many of them are fans of hers? Just same with Angel Reese. This goes for both parties.
Mm-hmm.
How many of them that don't watch basketball, but they hear it's a white girl, and they, let's say the white, for the white people, it's
Mm-hmm.
a white girl. She's dominating in a sport that's usually dominated by black people. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm gonna tune in, rooting for her. I'm all for her. I believe, just like you said, oh yeah, she's with us. She's
Right.
going, she's on the conservative side, and so on and so forth. And they loved her. They loved her life. And when she said because a lot of them know what that like button that she hit meant,
Yeah.
and some of them still don't want to believe it, and they
Yeah.
trying to lie to themselves. But a lot of them know what that meant, and like a Jason Whitlock.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Whitlock knows with who he is, what he represents, him being a popular celebrity and whatnot, that if he was to hit the like button on that same post, he would be
Mm-hmm.
signing on. That's what that would be saying.
Right.
So he understood, and that's why I think I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm glad you shed a lot of light on. She went. What is it? Right or she went left, and
She went
so.
left. She went left, it appears. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
But you know what really bothered me too? It's one thing if you say, okay, she's complaining a lot. I'm tired of the complaining, but I'm thinking as a fan, okay, it's playoff time. Now, if I've seen her complaining all season long, okay, and even if it got worse, like he says, who bails at playoff time? It like
No, right. Yeah, yeah. You like you said, he was a fake fan from the jump. He
mm-hmm,
hopped on the Caitlin Clark train,
mm-hmm,
um, because it fit all his narratives that he running with, the being able to vote for Trump and everything he's been doing as of recent. And Caitlin Clark was great for it. And if you ask me, I would have thought she probably would have went with Trump. Her being a, Catholic white girl from Iowa and so on and so. But I don't care. I don't care which way you're gonna lean. And
mm-hmm,
when I see you as the person you are, first of all, to me, she seems like a very good person, human being.
right,
Period. She
mm-hmm,
seems like a fiery athlete, which
mm-hmm,
I love.
mm-hmm,
Very competitive. Just like I love Tom Brady. Tom Brady was Psycho Tom. I love Michael Jordan, Kobe
mm-hmm.
Bryant. People say it's real hard to play with them dudes because they expect greatness of
Oh
you,
yeah,
even in
yeah,
turn, right?
mm-hmm,
They're gonna challenge,
right,
right? And so people that was too hard for them, it's like too hot. Get yourself out the kitchen.
yeah,
So I love Caitlyn because she fired. Yes, she's immature. I'm able to look and say, man, I can't wait till she 5 years, 6 years in. And
mm-hmm,
I think that will slow down with her crying so much to the refs. But on the other flip side, and that's what
mm-hmm.
I can't understand about Jason, do you not you see them beating her up?
And he's talked
So
about it. He's talked about it. Yeah,
see
yeah,
him beating her up.
yeah,
So yeah, she actually has reason to complain. If you actually know her story and you're talking about, yeah, she's been doing this since college. She's been doing this. Well, to me, as I've done my little research
mm-hmm,
about Caitlin Clark high school, before she got to Iowa and when she got to Iowa, to me, she's been getting sabotaged since high school
right,
and college,
yeah,
and
yeah,
haven't been the benefit of the doubt when it comes to getting calls and whatnot.
yes. First of all, Body by Taco, thank you so much for that donation. And DaPope, retro hairstylist 1983 says if she had a coach who fought for her, she wouldn't be in this situation. What do you got to say about that?
Oh, Christy, step aside. That is exactly right. I coach basketball and I coach teenagers. Teenagers, especially in this day and age, they got
Mm,
mouths on, it,
yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Mouths on. It. Talking about so uh I have to let them know that's a no go. If we have rules. You talk to the ref, you come sit down by me and you gonna talk with me.
Right.
So I'll do all the talking to the refs. But in my team and the parents, their parents, they know
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna handle any of that. And I know the lines that I can cross and how far I can go. I can handle it to the point where I don't even have to get a tech necessarily. But I'm gonna let you know
Right.
you missing this call, you missing that call. Stop missing this. Now, if I've warned you and you continue, oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
then I will get a tech on purpose to let
Right.
my teammates after that tech come. I'm gonna be able to huddle you up and say, y'all see what's going on. So you got to play harder, play smarter, so on and so forth. They're not giving you no calls. Don't look for no calls. Don't cry about no calls. Don't let calls slow you down.
Right. Stay focused.
Right. Stay focused.
But Jason says that the reason why she gets so many turnovers is because she's so focused on wait. I gotta read this. This comment says, just admit it, you don't like Clark because she's white. You don't like Whitlock because he doesn't hate whites. What? You hate Trump because you've been told to. Oh, you're not talking about me. Before he ran for president, he was loved. Oh, I'm sure you're not talking about me. That's for
No.
sure. Yeah, because I'm not. That don't apply to me at all. So
So funny.
I'm taking heat because I'm not. I'm
That's my
taking
guy.
heat because I'm not left. So maybe he means in general. Certainly not talking about me.
Somebody in the chat.
Yeah. Maybe talking about. Oh, he might be talking something. It's hard to follow, but yeah, he said that's why she's turnovers.
Chat.
Then he pointed out how many turnovers she got, and he called her. He said her teammates are babysitters now, and she kind of commented on that too, and she was laughing about it. But here's the thing: in the NBA, they have. You've been around NBA for a while. I've been around NBA. Rasheed Wallace, okay, he was Mr. Tech, right? His teammates knew that they had to pull him in because he was gonna lose his temper. Now, is that the best way to be? No, I'm gonna say no, right? But you got to have teammates smart enough to say, "Listen, we need you on the floor," right? But how did that translate into her fans are worshipers? Notice how he said that. Her fans are worshipers, right? The reason why she's got all these turnovers more than anybody is because she's not focused on the game, you know, and her basketball IQ is low.
Oh.
You coached. Does she have a low basketball IQ, and how do you know?
She's probably the smartest player in WNBA. As far as on the offensive side. Defensive side, she's not that bright. Okay. She's not that bright.
Yeah. And some of that is coaching. That's
a lot of that coaching because on-ball defense, she's very great. To me, she's one of the best on-ball defense. She know how to move her feet, cut you off, and she's very fast. She don't really let people her size or smaller knock her off her spot. So unless you're bigger than her, is how you can put a shoulder into her and maybe knock her off her spot. But she gonna beat you to the spot. Right. On-ball defense, she gets lost in team defense, and that's coaching. That's all coaching.
Yes.
Because I can do film study with you and show you, I need you here, not there. Why didn't you get over this screen instead of under the screen? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you hedge over here? That's all coaches. So when the team defense, Christy size, that's on her. But her turning the ball over, she tries passes that no other player has ever been able to do. Exactly. She actually completes a lot of those passes. Reason being, she has the most turnovers in WNBA history, but then you also got to look and say she has the most assists in WNBA history. Yes. So it goes hand in hand. Everybody who handles the ball for so long, and especially point guard, that has to do everything. And she's a rookie point guard. That's why I'm like, Jason, we're like, what are you doing? The fact that she's a stat stuffer right now because she has those capabilities, right? To be able to stuff that sheet. But she also way ahead of her time when it comes to knowing how to operate and run the offense. She knows how to run the offense, run around, and play basketball, right? She can she don't have to be in a certain system. Some players are good in only this system or that system. No, she can just play. And if everybody knew how to play with her and they all synced in like the Iowa team was, Lisa Bluder had them playing and knew how to space the floor, knew the game. So she knows the game. She know how to play basketball. She knows the game of we need to be spaced here, we need to move around here, so on and so forth. So he was just out of line, out of pocket for those things and the worship. Oh, how you pointed that out. I let that go from. I can't believe because I'm usually catching all of these things,
Right.
and I guess me liking Jason these days and age, I let that get over
Yeah,
on
yeah.
me.
Cause that one to me wasn't to me that was worse to me than Gino Auriemma, who called before the season started when he said that Caitlin Clark's fans were stupid and unknowledgeable because they thought that she would do well in the league, that she might be in the MVP conversation, all that stuff. He called her fans unknowledgeable. He called us stupid. To me, what he said was not as bad as what Jason said when he said that her fans are worshiping her. 5 minutes ago, he was a fan, right? But then
Big,
she liked that Taylor Swift thing, and now we're worshipers. That was
yeah, we
low.
were.
That was low. Thank you for that. All the
Feelings hurt.
go ahead.
I mean, his feelings hurt though.
Yeah, I guess so. Either that or he, I think he likes, he likes some clicks and stuff like that. I don't know. It just her
No,
fan.
no, because he losing. He losing. So, because he said he even admitted on that video, he said I lost 1,000 followers on Twitter after I said what I had said.
Yeah,
He's like, that's why he was all in his feelings and calling us worshipers now and this, that, and the other, and trying to explain himself. Even had a guy throw the Caitlin Clark jersey to him while he was on set on live and show people, look, I bought two of these,
yeah,
and so on and so forth. Yeah, he was all in when he thought she was all the way to the right when they thought she was conservative.
yep.
Once he found out she wasn't. Yeah, I'm agree with you. He went too far into calling her names and trying to. He went over the top.
He brought
He
her
was
daddy
hurt.
in it. How her dad told her to shut up. He showed the video of her dad. All that. Okay. So again, thank you everyone for make sure you hit the like button. We've got 584. I'm showing in the chat. 157 likes. Hit that. Also go to DaPope B Frank's channel and subscribe over there. We got Leroy in the house. Leroy Wicks in the house. And he said Whitlock was
Oh,
wrong, just like all the other haters. Caitlin Clark derangement syndrome. Yeah. So let's transition a little bit because you mentioned Lisa Bluder. And before we get to the main reason we were going to talk today is about coaching. But before we even get to that, I want to just stick with this real quick. On a scale of 1, because I'm not going to give anybody a 0, but as somebody who's coached, the game, NBA, WNBA with Caitlin Clark, all that stuff. I hear you breaking down some things a lot. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give Christy Sides? I'll say this first. What would you rate her? 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, in the beginning of the season? Just in the beginning of the season, what would you have graded her?
1.
You would have graded her a 1. Now tell me how you would what you based that on.
I based that on the way she just from the beginning of her talking about changing Caitlin's game from shooting deep threes to deep twos.
Mhm.
So that automatically told me you was discouraging your main player
Mm,
on what she does best. You're trying to put doubt in her head, which she did. You're trying to create, don't shoot though, it's not a good shot
mhm,
in her head when that's been a great shot for her for so long.
mhm.
So that's you like that's
Yeah.
crazy as a do that for your rookie who hasn't even played a game yet. This is even before a game. So
Mhm,
it isn't like taking these shots and it's not working, and then you're saying, hey, how about you step in just a little bit because you got this shot right there. They're giving you that, but they're not giving you that. So instead of forcing that, do these deep twos and then take it out. Something like that. So she messed up there, and then the rotations, her trying to start Erica Wheeler, Kelsey Mitchell, and Caitlin Clark all at the same time, having Caitlin play off the ball. She just was so lost.
Yeah.
So lost, not
Yeah.
knowing what this team.
Okay, so now fast forward to where we are right now. Same question. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you grade Christy Sides now?
Give her 3.
You give her a 3.
I
Okay,
give
where
her
where do you see improvement?
sometimes she's learned to step aside and let them girls play basketball because she's learned that what I do really don't work, and
Mhm,
that works. What she likes to do, what Caitlin Clark does, and how these girls is playing, that
mhm,
works. What I
mhm,
like doesn't work.
mhm.
Uh, so sometimes, and then her inserting Lexi Hall into the lineup. Well, I can't even really give her credit because, like you said, you brought that to my attention too. Shout out to you,
Mm,
that Katie took herself out of the lineup,
yeah.
and it was besides doing that you even almost gave her a little props for, and which I just almost did. But so we got to take that out. Nope, she got a two. I went with a two. She ain't got a three.
I'm
Right?
looking at these numbers. People are throwing in numbers. Some people are giving her a 6, as much as a 6. Some are giving her. I saw a 0 plus. Um, you know, okay, but that makes me think this. She's definitely. They've all grown a little bit, and those rotations, and it leads me to this. I commented in my this was the members only live. We did a live for the game for everybody. And then I did a
Right.
members only live for 3 of the top memberships that I have for the channel after the game against the Dallas Wings. Okay. And so I was saying how I've heard people say that Mark Jackson would someone mentioned that they need Bill Lambier in there, you know? And I said, Bill Lambier used to coach in the WNBA. He coached the Detroit Shop. And I told him Michael, from the Lakers, Michael Cooper, he coached the LA Sparks. He coached Lisa Leslie, right? He coached those. And so I said, there are people who feel like Mark Jackson would be good to coach this team. I hear people say that, to coach the Fever. Somebody asked the question and said, Adrienne, do you think that men are better coaches than women? And I said, my initial response was, no, I don't. And then I backtracked and I said, well, I don't necessarily know that that's the case X's and O's wise, but I think
Mm-mm.
perhaps, and this is someone who coached myself and you have coached, there's something about women by nature where we're more nurturers. How do you, I see you nodding, how do you feel that plays into the whole conversation of men versus women coaches, and even maybe the kind of coach the Fever would need?
I believe if you had it just it I believe men are definitely better suited to coach, especially for women, and it's in general. Because why? Who's the head of the household? It's man,
Mhm.
right? You in the it's a man. If you got a man who a woman has a man for that security, that protection, that all of that.
Somebody
That's
said no comment, Pope. GMO
that's
said no comment. Keep it going though.
Now that's coaching. I mean, you understand? Your woman, your wife, your spouse, she looked to her husband for certain things, leadership, protection, so on and so forth.
Hey, but
It,
Grant, I get you there, but not every woman is married either. So there's that.
no, but what I mean is, by nature,
Okay.
man is the leader, and women and men look up to leaders of that's men,
Mm-hmm.
right? Have
Mm-hmm.
more of a presence. So when you got coaching, you want to have a leader of
They,
men.
some people are mad at you right now. I'm looking at these
Oh,
comments.
oh no, that's fine. But see, the truth hurts sometimes. But
Mm-hmm.
it's the fact when you're a leader of men. See, if you got if I'm a man and these women respect me, why I think Gino went to college when he got into college and started coaching? He just smacked everybody around. This is easy, right? It's like this is it.
Mm.
He won so many championships, and I don't even like him as a person no more. He just showed his hand. But my whole thing is these women will they'll be more inclined to listen. They'll be more inclined to work harder. I think men coaches will hold them to higher expectations, to work harder, do better, hold them accountable for certain things more than women will. Because, like you said, y'all naturally nurturers. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
naturally. Oh, come on, don't be late no more. You know I need you to do that last one. I can see Christy Size and a whole bunch of them. I need they always look at how, if you remember that interview that
Mm-hmm.
Asia Will had with Becky Hammond when she
Oh
said, I
yeah.
don't care And look at how Asia was talking to her, like they homegirls.
Right.
They
True.
homies.
Right.
It is like, girl, yo, you tripping, you wilding, Becky wilding. So you can imagine that there's going to be a sisterhood instead of a disciplinary. A coach is a disciplinarian. When you do something out of line, he's all on you. That's not really what women do.
Now,
So
see,
yes,
I would say for me as a coach, I was a disciplinarian. I believe that the game is supposed to be played a certain way. I believe that you need to bring yourself to practice on time. I was more of a disciplinarian than I was an X's and O's kind of person. An inspiring kind of person and a disciplinarian. And I didn't take a lot of nonsense. But I feel like this. I had my assistant for my third and fourth years, who was also a youth pastor at my church, teacher in the district with me, and one of my, like a brother to me. In fact, I share with him. His name is Chris Romano. He's the brother of Jason Romano, who was the executive producer at ESPN, and now he's with Spectrum Sports. So I had an opportunity to work with Chris Romano, who went to college on a football scholarship. He played basketball as a point guard, and he was, like I said, close friend of mine, still is to this day. He was my assistant coach, although he knew a whole lot more than I did, you know. And I struggled. It hurt me, like the playing time thing, cutting and stuff. Like, I did what I had to do, but
right.
it hurt me more, I think, as a woman. And I think maybe this is what Coach Sides deals with, because we keep saying, why is she starting Alyssa Smith? Why is Katie Lou on the floor? I remember asking Romano, I said to him, does it bother you? Like some of the stuff that bothers me? Nope. This is the game. This is just how it goes, you know? And I think that is a difference. As a woman, I just think it might make things a little bit more difficult when you do have to make some of the hard decisions and you're worrying about how that's going to affect your
And
play.
I agree. And on top of that, so for people who think I'm, not on the right track with this, right?
Right.
People who have a mother and have a father, grew up with a mama and daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Your mama can be hard and discipline all she wants, but when daddy say something, it hit different.
Yeah. Wait till your daddy comes home, right?
And when daddy say something, it hit a little different. And so it's same thing with coaching. If you got a woman who might say, okay, cool, but that man when hey, listen, Erica, if you don't take them headphones off, it's a different respect, and even from women that have for men, like it's a different respect. Oh yeah, that's my okay, got you. And so I think they do need, you're not gonna have too many Lisa Bluders.
So do you see her
Pat
as an
Summit.
exception? You see her as an exception? Lisa
Oh,
Bluder,
most
Pat Summit?
yes, indeed. It's definitely women coaches out there that can get the job done. I'm not saying that none of them can get the job done, but it's few in between. It's a slippery slope because even women like yourself who can coach the game well, disciplinary, but when it comes down to those tough things, those tough times where you might have to, get in their butts a little bit, or might have to get somebody the scissors.
Yeah.
They've been working
Now,
hard, right?
right. Well, listen, I could do it and I would do it because my
Mhm.
mindset was very strong in terms of there were people who were whining about playing time, but they weren't busting their tail in the off season. I could do it, but I took it home with me. It bothered me. It might bother me a little bit more than it would bother a guy who was like, he went home, he's eating dinner, he's all right. You know, but Lisa Bluder, what is it that she has? Because I've heard you oftentimes say we need Lisa Bluder back in there. What is it? What distinguishes her, do you think, from a Christy Sides in terms of her ability to coach a Caitlin Clark?
Her understanding of the game, the girls, and how they need to play. She
Mm-hmm.
understands. I don't need to coach them on X's and O's. See,
Mm-hmm.
I'm big at that. That's what type of coach I am. I need to
Mm-hmm.
coach them how to play basketball. knowing the game of basketball, the nuances of the game on where you need to be on defense and all of it. She knows how to break down into where when your team understands what you're putting down on how to play the game of basketball, then they get to free flow. They get to really learn just flow and play smart. They get to basically play organized street ball.
Right.
It's like when you go, because I always tell my kids this: when you out playing with your homies at school or at the park or at the Y, and y'all just playing pickup ball, do you need plays called? Do y'all all run to each other? Do you not know that, hey, when I pass the ball, I should go screen, or do you just stand there? See, so you need to know these things. When you pass the ball, you need to go. It's pass, cut, pass, screen. You gotta go. And I hate when Clark, because I never seen her do that at Iowa. Just after she passed, just stand at the top of the key. That tells me for you to just have her stand at the top of the key like she's a safety or something. And she like, just in case we get turnover, you be the first one back. Be ready to be back. Or if we don't get a good shot out of this action that we tried to run, and maybe they can just hit it to you when there's 2 seconds left on the shot clock, and you can hoist. But yeah, it's simple basketball, and I love Lisa Bluder because I think she teaches that, and she allows her girls to be the strength and the leaders to lead and things of that nature. And that's
yeah. King's Kid Girl just said something like Lisa Bluder she knew how to coach Caitlin. I think her IQ, Jason Whitlock, is so high that, and you got a Kelsey Mitchell with her too, that you don't want to overcoach her, right? Like you said, you just kind of want to, obviously you got to know basics, and you got to know, you got to know how to play in the half court, because you're going to have to play in the half court. But I think with this team, that's the last resort. And I think the reason why Christy Sides went from the 1 that you mentioned to the 3 or maybe the 2.5 in a grade is because I think it began to click. Sometimes, sometimes it looks like it's not clicking, but I think it began to click that we need to run more, not feed it into Aaliyah every time, not slow it down, but get out and run and be disciplined enough to know that if you don't have something, then you can pull it out, and now you can set up your half court offense. Am I right?
Yes, indeed. Because you got to have the X's and O's, but she knows that too. That's what I've also. She knows the whole thing of coaching. That's very rare to be able to know your team first of all, because you can't do the same thing with every roster that you have.
Right.
You got players. You got to play. You got to coach to those players' strengths. So if you got a slow-footed team, then you might have to slow the ball down and operate in the half court and execute precisely. Everything to be beautiful. Your screens, your spacing, your cuts, the timing, the rhythm. It all has to be on point. So it just depends. But if you got a Caitlin Clark, you got a Stephen Curry, you have a player like a LaMelo Ball, who wants to get up and down the floor, and that's when they're at their strengths. If you have those type of players, then yeah, you teach them how to free flow and about spacing. It's more about spacing. It's more about moving, cutting, watching those type of things. And on defense, always whatever your defensive principles are, that's your defensive principles. Which she coached that very well too. So she's an all around. That's why I love Lisa Bluder, because she covers basically all the bases. She knows what to do with the type of team. And it's like for a coach to say, just let me get that one player. Give me one player that can play, and I guarantee you I can compete with the best of them. Yeah. That's Lisa. Yeah. Give me one top player and 4 that's going to work hard and play to my beat, and we'll be teams.
Yeah. Well, good. Listen, thank you for those who are in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button, and also make sure you go to DaPope B Frank. Go to his YouTube channel and subscribe over there. Also, as we wind down, I got to ask you, because this is what they've been waiting for. This was the plan coming into the season. We want to make the playoffs. Haven't made the playoffs since 2016. They did that. Right now, they are at, what are they? 20 and 19. 20 and 19. But they got the playoffs, and tonight, in that exciting ending to the Connecticut Minnesota game, Minnesota has they're solid now in second place. I was rooting for them tonight, even though I don't root for Minnesota. I don't root for Coach Reeve, but I was rooting tonight because I would rather see Connecticut in the playoffs in the first round than Minnesota. That's how I feel. What do you feel and what are you expecting? Thank you, Florida Channel Catfishing. What are you expecting in this first round of playoffs? Are they gonna survive enough to get a game back at home in Indiana?
Well, I know people don't like to bring politics and religion into sports, but God is good, isn't
Come
he?
on now. Come on now.
God is
Yes,
good.
it
He
yes.
is funny too. He funny.
Yeah.
This is thing God be all uptight, but God is hilarious, and He
Thank you
don't
for
like ugly. And the Dejanay Spicy Mustard Carrington, and oh, she can look cute to some people on the outside, but she ugly on the inside. She ugly on the inside. She ugly to me on the outside inside, but that's neither here nor there. But uh, for her to be tweeting out sarcastic tweets when Caitlyn was a college player,
mm-hmm.
and you she might lead the league in assists, and you know got the league leader in assists as your teammate.
Come on, yeah.
So you knew what you were doing when you was doing it. You wasn't giving props to Caitlin Clark. No.
Mm-hmm.
You was setting up Aaliyah Thomas, who you know very well, and you know her personally, and she takes these leading the league in assists to heart, which she should. That's a
Right.
very
Yeah.
big deal,
Yeah.
especially a power forward. Never really been done on the women's side. So you're the first real point forward, and the fact you leading the league, and just last year, in your ninth year, you got the WNBA record.
Yeah.
So of course, Deja, that's how messy this girl is. Dejanay Spicy Mustard is all over the counter and everything. She's just messy. Okay, she's just gonna tweet out something to set her team up to be a hater alongside with her. And this is at the time where nobody really knows who you guys are, right? We don't know
Mm-hmm.
who you are,
Yeah.
but you're tweeting out, and of course, At replied back, "Nay, don't play with me," because she take it to heart.
Right. Yeah.
She
Yeah.
don't play with me
Like,
like,
yeah.
and so full circle.
Mm-hmm.
Bum. Yeah, she wasn't playing with you. She thought she was playing with you. She
Exactly.
was joking. And Cheryl was laughing her face off because they thinking never
Right.
is she gonna come to the league and lead the league in assists. And
Mm-hmm.
what did she do? Done just exactly that. And the fact that y'all got to face them early in the season and you beat them up because y'all well veteran oil machine team. They trying to figure it out with a coach that don't know what to do with this team.
Yeah.
Okay, and y'all got to beat them up. But then when they woke up a monster, and you
Well.
see the remarks that she say, Coach, they didn't woke up a monster,
Mm-hmm.
and they just went out there and spanked y'all butts, spanked your butts bad. It wasn't even a close game, right? Just whooped y'all, and you can kind of tell y'all really not on their level because y'all don't have an elite scorer this son. Don't have an elite scorer
Right.
from it. Luana Bonner used to be that, and she could give you that in spurts,
Mm-hmm.
but she's 37 years old. So I don't think, but you never know. So we shall see. But I think we got a real good chance. And God, this is a full circle moment. That'd be something if the Fever knocked Dejanay Spicy Mustard Carrington and them out of the playoffs first round.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something? I'm telling you. And when you mention that, God being good and and he has a sense of humor, I feel like I've been seeing it all along throughout this thing because I truly believe there's something to be said for this is basketball. But I really see this moment in time that we're in. I really believe that God is using a lot of what we see on a basketball court of all places to show us a lot of things, to shine a light on our hearts, on some other people's hearts. In fact, I got a book I'm planning to write about it because I think it's bigger in so many ways. In some ways, it's like, okay, in the big scheme of things, it's a game. But I'm seeing a lot of things come to light in the midst of the game. Like, I never would have thought we'd be in a situation where you would take a legend such as Cheryl Swoops. Well, it's like this whole situation, just press some buttons, and revealing some hearts. Um, it's wild. It's wild. I could say more, but then why would I write the book, right? So I'm hoping they make it back home. I think they got a chance. They've got to shore some things up. So if you're the coach, as we end here, you're coaching the Indiana Fever. You're heading
Okay.
you're heading into this series against Connecticut. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So what's your speech? What are you gonna tell these young ladies in this opportune moment that this organization has not seen in 8 years? What are you gonna say?
Okay, first I'm gonna put the projector on. I'm gonna have a projector on. Everybody sitting in the room, dark. It's gonna be. We're gonna put the projector on, and the first picture that's gonna come up is Dejanay Carrington and Alyssa Smith. That's you? Oh, that's you? Oh, okay. Get out the room. You gotta go. You're released. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's the first thing I'm gonna do. As a coach, yeah, she's an op, is what the youth kids say today. She's an op for real. Okay, you see all the stuff, that spicy mustard,
Mm-hmm.
messy, and condoning it, and so she gone. And we fever. We about to heat them up.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to it's time to go heat them up.
Hold on, I gotta stop
Okay,
you right here because I see Joel, and I know how you feel about this player, so I gotta stop you. Someone said Dantas needs all Smith's minutes. I just had to throw that out. You can include that in what you got to say right now.
for sure. So that's what I'm going into this game saying. Okay, see Smith, she's out of here. Now it's my next move. So we have Dantas, who's a veteran. She's been around, much better fit, and can handle Alyssa Thomas no problem. We match up. The playoffs is definitely about matchups. Y'all
Yes.
know we match up team
Yeah.
better than probably any team in this playoffs. And
Mm-hmm.
who's to say what can happen if we
Right.
go and handle our business
Mm-hmm.
in these games? Each game, each possession, each moment, take it to heart.
Mm-hmm.
Take it like it's your last possession.
Yeah.
Honor, cherish the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Lesser turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Kaylin, honor the ball. I know you can make the deep, long passes and all of this type of stuff. Smooth. Do it when it's for sure wide open. But let's limit it. The
Mm-hmm.
highlight stuff, hey, we
Right.
gotta limit it. Gotta
Right.
force it, okay? And
Yeah.
rebounding. We gotta rebound the basketball. I need boxing out.
Knee box.
Dantas, she's perfect at boxing out. AB, can you learn something, please, from
Mm-hmm.
Dantas? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
learn how to use your body box out, please.
Mm-hmm.
Have Timmy come in, Dantas, for us. We all good. Timmy back, y'all. I'm telling my girl, we got Timmy back, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and she got her win back. We about to go and upset these
Yeah.
Connecticut girls, and let's move on. Because who we have, we're not gonna look that far ahead, but
Right.
ain't no telling. Because if
Right.
somebody gets on another team,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm concerned about Smith, like you said, Smith, and thank you again for that donation. I'm concerned about Smith playing against Dijonais. How do you call it? Spicy Mustard Carrington?
I
Uh,
see
too
mustard.
much drama going on, too much going on social media, talking junk. And then Melissa Smith doesn't know how to ignore, she feeds into it. That's, listen, I've known in the NBA, I've known great players who were trying to think of some names, but they were like the best of friends. But when they had to play each other in the playoffs and one came to the other city, to play, they didn't communicate. They didn't go out to
Mm-mm.
dinner together. They didn't do anything like that. They didn't do any of that together. You know, I'm trying to remember if that was back in the day. Was that like Magic and Isaiah, or whatever? I don't know. But there have been some who have been close friends, but because a lot of stuff gets in the mix. And that's just friends now, but you got whatever Dejanay and whatever they got.
Long-term relationship.
Yeah,
No, they got loyal.
Jordan and you.
Loyal.
Someone said Jordan and Ewan. Yeah, I just and even besides that, Smith just you pointed it out today. I listened to you today. You said, she talking about it was good while it lasted. Well, you know what? If you play well, do you not think you get minutes? You can't hit a free throw. Sometimes you come last game, she came out aggressive from the start. She got all the moves under the basket, but she can't finish. And so sometimes, I'm cheering her on. I want to see her do well, but I'd rather win a playoff game. And I hope Sides doesn't get caught up into that and feel the need also with Katie Lou. I like Katie Lou a lot, but she just had a baby. Whatever, she's got. It's just like you said. I'm with you. Dantas, Tammy, Aaliyah's got to play strong. CC, I like their chances against Connecticut. I think it's possible in a 3-game, the best of 3. Right? Is that how they start? The best of 3.
Best of 3. That's so crazy.
Best of 3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't have a lot of room for mistakes.
No, you don't. You don't got a lot of room for mistakes. Best of 3. You got to come out and get you a win. First game. But again, I wouldn't be surprised. And this I said, God got a funny way of letting it be known. I'm in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm in the mix. I'm in the mix.
Yeah.
Everybody surprised if they 3-0. That'd be the beautiful. Is just 3-0 them, sweep them.
Yeah. So Thursday, I'm gonna let everybody go. But Thursday, the last game against Washington. Everybody plays their last game Thursday, I've been told. And so looking forward to that game. And then the playoffs start on Sunday.
Yeah, I wouldn't even play my players on Thursday.
Well, see, I'm gonna do a video on that because I disagree with you on that one. And I'm gonna do a video and I'm gonna talk about that. But
that's cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I've already thought about that. I'm gonna hold back a little bit on that one. But
okay.
So maybe I'll do
one.
Maybe you do one on your channel. I'll do one on my channel. You guys make sure you check out both our channels because you're gonna subscribe to his channel, and you can see. Then you can vote and see who you agree with. So,
okay.
All right.
All right.
I'll give you the last word on this.
Go Fever and go Miss Adrienne Ross. Make sure y'all supporting and hitting the like button and subscribing to the Ross Show. This was fun. Thank you for having me, and I look forward to seeing your video on why the heck should they play Thursday and rip any tiredness, soreness going into Sunday. I would love to. You convince me on that one. I can't wait to hear.
Well, somebody just wrote because they're talking very positively about the stream in the chat. Someone just saying they say DaPope versus Adrienne for the title. We'll see what happens, But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us, and we appreciate that so much. He and I have a good. I don't even know what the word is, but we play off each other really well, and I appreciate picking his brain. So thank you so much. And thank you guys so much. Make sure you make your way and subscribe to his channel. And if you want to show him a little love in the donation department, what's your Cash App?
Just Being Frank 3.
Yes. Just Being Frank 3. Just Being Frank 3. Adrienne, what's that behind?
Being Frank, that's all.
Yeah. Somebody said, Adrienne, what's that behind you? They made me scared for a second. I don't know, my couch. I'm upstairs. I'm too lazy to go back downstairs. I'm telling you, somebody said, what's that behind you? I got scared. So Cash Being Frank 3. Hook him up. Be a blessing to him. All right. Good night, everybody. God bless you abundantly.
Good night.
All right.
Peace
Good night.
and love.
Thank you, DaPope. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
All right. Bye-bye.